Not sure about Unbreakable's 25th anniversary. Unbreakable's 25th anniversary is coming up this year. Well, yeah, it's this year anyway. Now, Unbreakable, as everyone knows, was a 2000 superhero thriller, psychological superhero thriller film that was written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Starred Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, Robin White, back when she was known as Robin White Penn, when she was still married to Sean Penn. It also starred, the kid who played Joseph, I think his name. His one also played Lucius in Gladiator. Damn it, I can't think of his name. Damn it, I don't know why I'm forgetting. But it also starred Michael Kelly in one of his very early movie roles. I think it might have been as like one of his first major series roles. Is anyone picking up? Man, screen blur. Yeah. Anyhow, Unbreakable, of course, as everyone knows the plot of it. A guy named David Dunn. He was a kind of low security. He has a dysfunctional family, personal life. His marriage is kind of falling apart, and he's also having affairs with someone, seeing other women. He's also planning to leave his wife behind to take a job in New York. However, one fateful afternoon, David is on a train to New York. Now the train gets attacked. The train gets into a crash, where David wakes up in a hospital and realizes he was the only survivor and has not sustained any physical damage. And he then meets a stranger named Elijah Price who has his own kind of myth, who has his own theory about how David could survive such a fatal crash while everyone else died. Basically, Elijah thinks that David is somehow a superhero. Basically, he thinks that he's basically that comic book. He basically believes that comic book heroes walk amongst mortals, and he thinks that David is one of them. David realizing that his powers must learn to become a hero. So now, from Unbreakable, when the film came out, it was famously quite revolutionary for the superhero genre, showing a more grounded, kind of more psychological, more darker side to superhero genre. Now, dark adult-oriented superhero movies weren't uncommon. You had films like Blade, which was released 2 years prior, as well as The Crow, to even Darkman. But Unbreakable took an original, much like Darkman, it was an original superhero stories, so it wasn't based off a pre-existing comic or anything. But it took a much more intellectual psychological take on superhero origin story, on the superhero origin story trope in superhero. And famously, when Unbreakable came out, it was a box office critical and commercial success, although it didn't really make as much money as traditional pictures had hoped. However, it made a little bit less than traditional pictures expected it to. However, the film was a runaway success on home video, especially DVD, where the film eventually became a cult classic, and is to this day hailed as one of the greatest superhero films of all time. So.